Hello and welcome to Emergentsoulconversations, the podcast promoting self-love and awareness with the hopes of developing sisterhood and community. We will be discussing concepts that pull on the hearts of today's woman. I'm your host, Karen Elaine, and I will share my life experiences along with inviting others to sit down with me who inspire me and also have a willingness to share their soul's journey. This podcast will give us meaningful and intimate conversations that'll help us create a life by design and not default. If this is your first time listening in, I thank you. Now on till today's episode. Developing a present moment mindset is essential in order to enjoy your life. I speak with women, clients, customers, and even family on a daily basis, and we have discussions on how important it is to have a positive mindset and stay in the present moment. I mean, today it's so difficult to find anywhere in the world that's not supporting the idea of being present in the moment or mindfulness or having a mindfulness mindset. A present moment mindset has been found to be useful in the treatment of pain, anxiety, as well as depression. And there's so many benefits, both mental and physical, that you can achieve from living your life in a mindful manner. It sounds difficult, but mindfulness is a simple skill that can be learned by anyone and anywhere. In order to keep your mind in the present moment and avoid negative emotions such as regret or anxiety, if your mind is always living in the past, you're likely going to feel regret. And in order to live in the present, you have to allow the past to die or stop focusing on what happened, because you know what? You can't change it. So there's no reason to continue to keep torturing yourself. Anxiety results from worrying about the future. And if you're not thinking about the future, you can't worry about it, right? That's why it's essential to live in the present moment. And there's so many things that are going around you all of the time, each day. And if you're so distracted by your thoughts, you're going to be too busy to even notice or appreciate them. Adapting a present mindset is going to allow you to live your life to the future. It's going to allow you to live your life to the fullest and allow you to appreciate things in life, appreciate the little things in life that life has to offer. And you're no going to be longer going to be trapped and living in your head. And I know I'm saying these things, but it's so true that many of us live in our heads all the time that we forget that what's real is what's around us and not what we're thinking in our minds. Ralph Matterson says, "Your destiny is to fulfill those things upon which you focused most intensely. So choose to keep your focus on that which is truly magnificent, beautiful, uplifting, and joyful. Your life is always moving towards something." So let's dig in this a little bit further and explore what is a present moment mindset. And while it's widely accepted that mindfulness is a positive thing, it's not always easy to come up with a definition that's accepted by everyone. So here are a few definitions that I've heard. It's a mental state that's achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, their thoughts, their bodily sensations, and using it as a therapeutic technique. That comes from the Oxford Dictionary. Joan Zinn says, mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way on a purpose in the present moment that's non-judgmental. And Webster says it's the practice of maintaining a non-judgmental state of heightened or complete awareness of one's thoughts, emotions, or experiences on a moment-to-moment basis. So here are a few examples of how not to maintain a present moment mindset. You're sitting in a meeting at work, but you're thinking about your unpaid bills, what to cook for dinner, did you leave the stove on? You're spending time at the park with your kids, but you're focused on what you're going to do for the weekend or what work you still have left to do. Or how's this? You're watching TV, but you're worried about the future or regretting your past. Look, we're all human, and these are things that we all can do. But once you make yourself aware of what you're doing, you can always choose to change it. So for our purpose, let's just say mindfulness is paying attention to your environment and your current activities. Ideally, most of your day is going to be spent on focused on what you're doing and the things that are going around you. I'm not saying that this is an easy task or it's possible to do this 100% of the time, because it's important to plan for tomorrow and consider the future, but don't spend so much time on it that you're forgetting about what's going on now and being present. If you're like everyone, or a lot of people I should say, if you spend time with one eye on your smartphone, one eye on the key, and the third on the TV, you're not being mindful. And this is going to be a detriment to your physical health as well as your mental health because you're suffering. You have to live in the present moment in order to increase control over your life. Does that make sense? Hey, and I'm just sharing tips with you and the things that I work on a daily basis. And this is something, and these are activities that you can do on a daily basis, not something that you do once and forget it. So what are the advantages of living in the present moment? One thing is, it's doubtful that you can do anything for yourself. The one thing that you can do that's going to be most beneficial is developing and adopting a present mindset. By keeping your mind in the present, it's going to enhance your physical health. It's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to alleviate stress. You can even sleep better because your mind is not running and rushing all of the time. It helps us maintain a mental healthness because we're going to enjoy, and it's going to increase our relationships with our family and friends and even strangers, because you're going to pay attention to the conversations that are occurring now and not the ones that are in your head. It's going to help you reduce anxiety as well as depression and increase your well-being, your happiness, your peace, and you're even going to become more agreeable. Aren't these things worth generating a better feeling of well-being? I know it's done wonders for me and even helps me form deeper relationships with those that are important to me. Hopefully this information is valuable to you and you are excited about the prospect of living a more present life. So remember, what happens to you does not define who you are. And while mindfulness is simple, it doesn't mean it's easy. There are challenges that can occur. But what has happened to you in the past, you can't change. And what's going to happen in the future, no one knows. So with that thought, remain in the present. Your emergent soul. Thank you for listening to this episode of Emergent Soul Conversations. Join me next time to gain more insights on how to live a life by design and not default. If this was your first time tuning into the show, please make sure and hit the subscribe button below and follow me on Instagram at emergentsoul. Remember, what happens to you does not define you. Your emergent soul.